Here I'm going to show you a really super neat feature where in the old software we had ini files which would configure your hardware. Now the user has control of this. So from the station configuration we go into builder mode using the little spanner there, and we can choose exactly what devices we have. So we can build up the configuration of our system. I have connected to here a load frame. I know it's a GDS Unity type 50 kilonewton load frame. I'm going to select that. So now we have that existing as one of our devices. The orange part means it's not configured. So if I click on that, I connect. They're the three devices I have connected. I connect my load frame and say select. Now that's configured and selected, and we know we're connected. For that device, I now choose exactly what I'm going to use it for. Now, it's a load frame, so I want velocity. I want to control velocity. You can see how the software guides you through this configuration. Axial velocity is going to map with a direct relationship to the load frame on channel 98. I know that 98 is velocity on this device, and there we have the configuration building up. So we currently have a load frame which I can control. If I set -1, right next to me the load frame started moving. So that's good, but we want a complete triaxial system, so let's select a pressure controller. I select from the list pressure controller. Very simply, I know that I have a standard controller version 2 USB device. Click OK. Click on the orange and select exactly which device. There it is, already there. Click OK. I'm whizzing through this just to give you an example, not to try and teach you how to use it. Close that. Now for this controller, this is going to be cell pressure. We're going to acquire cell pressure using that controller on the channel of pressure, and we're going to write to it cell pressure. Let's choose that device, and you can see it all starts building up. Here I should be able to now do a read, and we've got 1 kPa, and if I choose the control options, I haven't finished the control options. I need to choose pressure here. Now we have the control option for the cell pressure, so I would be able to target a cell pressure here, for example. Now let's configure one more device just to show how easy it is to configure a complete system. I'm going to choose data loggers because I have a GDS USB pad connected, so I select it here, click OK. Let's just make sure we can connect to this. Good. There we have our pad window, all working well, but we need to select what we're connecting to that pad. Axial displacement. We want to read axial displacement on the USB pad on, say, channel 0. Perfect. We now have that. Maybe we want axial load to be read on the USB pad, channel 1. And there we are done. We have a triaxial system essentially. I can save that as config 1, whatever I want to call it. And that's the equivalent of our ini file, that we now don't need an ini file. We've got complete control of how we set up the system ourselves. Now I can get out of our design mode, and there is my system configured. And very similar to the old version of GDSLAB, we can click on these devices to understand how they're working, and all of the transducers, so the ones in blue, we can click and select the transducer details as normal. So the customer has much more control if they want to change their system, reconfigure their system. Very, very powerful.